Hello guys, it's Chum3rd here. We're doing another Beyblade unboxing. This time we have CrimsonGaruda. So, another BX Bay, BX booster. Haven't seen as many BX Bays recently, but we do have one for today. There is the character that owns the Bay in the anime. So anyway, there's the parts and whatnot as well. So, let me go ahead and get this all opened up and let's check out the Bay. Alright, everything out of the box now. So first up here we have the instruction sheet and whatnot. Anyway, moving on to the ratchet, it's the one reused part here. That is of course 470. Nice color. Got some light red and some dark red. Very, very cool. Of course, originally came with Tyranno Beat, so nothing really new here, but sure, it's okay enough for a ratchet for this bay. Moving to the bit, this is a very interesting bit. This is called Transpoint. So, Transpoint is weird. So I didn't think this was actually going to work the way it does. So, how this bit works, it's basically point, as you can see. It's a little bit different, but, well, maybe show a little bit closer. So it's, somewhat similar to point, same idea, but there's some different grooves and stuff here. So there's no moving parts on the bit, kind of like Freeball. There's no moving parts on this bit, but it changes when you have it actually like fully put together. I'll show that later, but yeah, it's a very interesting bit. We'll get to how the height change works, and yeah, again, it has to be fully put together to really display that properly. Then we have the blade. CrimsonGaruda. Looks really cool, actually. I like the blade a lot. Has a silver gear chip, and then, yeah, you have opaque red. Really nice red, actually. Really cool looking bay. And yeah, there's the different blades here. Kind of have some, like, down smash a little bit, and then, you know, some upward attacks going, so yeah. Kind of like Hell's Chain in that way, not as crazy as Hell's Chain, I would say, but yeah, you kind of do have like the upper attack, you know, downward attacks going, to kind of, you know, utilize the gimmick. So yeah. Let's move on to the part weights. Always a little bit hard to see, but I'll read them out. So 470 is 6.39. It's to be expected. Transpoint, I expect this to be a little bit heavier than normal. Not much. 2.2. And CrimsonGaruda, how is this thing on weight? 34.77, not bad for a balanced type, but nothing too crazy either, so sure. And then putting this thing fully together, we're at 43.35, so nothing too crazy here, but sure. Alright. Let's go ahead, put this thing together. My camera color is all messed up. Hopefully that resets in a moment. Anyway, go ahead and start putting this thing together. Of course, 470, not exactly the best ratchet, but it is what it is. Alright, and here is the actual bay. So we have CrimsonGaruda 470 Transpoint. Very nice looking bay, I have to say. Yeah. Now, how this gimmick works for Transpoint, this part here, you can see it's very low. So this right now is basically a low point, so on a 70 ratchet, it's basically like a 60 ratchet, effectively, with how this works. So if you put on a 60 ratchet, it will be, you know, like a low flat almost, in terms of how, you know, Shark Edge stock combo works. But, yeah. That said, as it moves, you know, based on, like, the gear chip and stuff, you could see it will actually pop up. This is, like, high point. So, again, if you use it, like, on an 80 ratchet, kind of like how Night Lance does with, you know, high needle, it'll be like that, where it's taller than normal. And then the 70 ratchet, though, is basically like, it's an 80 ratchet, so yeah. basically high and low point in one, effectively. So because it's on the gear chip, you can kind of continually rotate this, which is interesting. But the most interesting part of all, it basically does have some functions on the extreme line. So when you extreme dash, it is meant to actually change heights from said extreme dash. So yeah, it's a very interesting part for sure. Yeah, it will change based on the extreme dash, which again, this is interesting to me because I will say the gimmick itself, it's not overly interesting. Let me fix this. It's not an overly interesting gimmick. At least I don't think so, because it's just a height change, like, cool. I mean, yeah, the blade does kind of have different heights, so it does maybe change up its attack patterns a bit, but, like, it's nothing that crazy. My main question, though, so they don't have any crazy mechanisms. Again, it's based just on the connectivity between just the bits and effectively the gear chip, really. And my question here is that, will we maybe get a bit eventually that does use a little bit more insight, maybe like some kind of mode change that, again, isn't just based on that. It has an actual, genuine mode change within just the bit itself with no extra, anything. If we get that, will we maybe see something that is like Reboot or, Final Drive? That kind of concept where maybe you have a bit that starts off a little more calm, but then kind of gets a second wind and becomes more chaotic. They could technically still pull this off, to some degree. I mean, yeah, you could have like an outer part that maybe moves up and down with a middle part that stays, in the center. It would require a little bit more, involvement inside the bit to make that work, but if we do that, could that potentially work utilizing the extreme dash rather than an automatic mode change based on stamina, like, again, Final Drive or Reboot? So, interesting note there, but yeah, anyway. Pretty cool bay nonetheless. So overall, what do I think about this bay? It's nothing too crazy, but I feel like it does lead to some interesting potential. As far as the design goes, I think it looks nice. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10 for design, because yeah, it just looks like a good bay, I would say. But as far as the conceptual design of this thing goes, I will, yeah, I think I'm also going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's good. I think, again, you have the blade that matches up with the bit gimmick, and the bit gimmick, again, is a mode change of sorts, and I think, again, utilizing Extreme Dash makes it pretty cool. I don't think it's the most interesting use case, so something too crazy, so I'm not giving it higher than a 7 out of 10 for Lance, but I do think it is still interesting nonetheless, which is why I am still giving it a 7. Also, before I end this video, we do finally have proper iterations for the Bakuten shoot motifs, so that's cool. Let me grab all of them here. And let's grab Black Shell. This thing always gives me trouble with standing up straight, so try and like put it into Weiss Tiger there. Alright, that'll have to do. So we finally have the 4 motifs. So yeah, all of the Bakuten shoot ones and that. Come on, no, okay. This thing. Close enough. Alright, cool. So it is very nice to actually have all of these. I know there was some discourse on whether or not the drones are based it would happen. And I think, yeah, they're probably just waiting for something like Transpoint to make that work properly. Seemed like they might be skipping it, but yeah, it probably makes sense to, not do that. So yeah, here they all are. Very, very cool to see all of them, in Beyblade X. And they're just remakes. They're, again, fully new bays and, technically do have, unique motifs, which is very cool. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. CrimsonGaruda, pretty cool bay. Definitely another good BX bay. They're at least giving a reason to why BX exists. It's not like just really overly bland bays, which is good, but I did make a discussion recently on whether or not I think they will be staying around. I don't, but since they are, as of right now, a good addition to Beyblade X, I would say. So yeah, anyway, that's all for this video, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.